Good morning. I'm here just a few miles north of the M40 and on the northwest edge of Bicester. This land all around me is over the next 20 years going to have 6,000 new homes built on it, together with 7 or 8 new schools, and a whole new community is going to form here as a new eco-town. Just down the road here, ground has been broken on the first of those houses being built and the first of those new schools. And I'm here because it highlights two things that are part of the future of the central region of Oxfordshire community churches. The first is that we don't see our churches standing aside on the margins of society, on the edge of our local community, but getting right into the heart of our local community and bringing God's kingdom there. That's why, together with Chapel Street, with whom we partner in running Tyndale Community School in Oxford, we've put in a bid to run that new primary school that's just beginning to be built. We don't yet know the outcome of our application, but it speaks of our heart to get right into the heart of the community and make God known there. The other reason for being here is this speaks of growth and expansion in our region. We're praying that all of our churches grow locally and finding strategies for growth. We also are just beginning to pray about a fresh wave of church planting, going out to plant communities with our values and the life of God to the north and to the east. We believe God's speaking to us about planting along the M40 and M1 corridors between Birmingham and London, and are looking forward to all that God has for us to do in partnership with others, but drawing on his life in the years ahead.
As a Western region over the last couple of years, we determined to give ourselves to 3 tasks: to training leaders, releasing resources, and to planting churches. We've undoubtedly seen progress in terms of equipping people for their ministry in the church and also out in the world. We've also seen a release of significant resource to support work overseas and also to receive apostolic ministry into our region. But there is more to do. If we are going to enter into our beyond, there's churches to be planted. As I stand here in the beautiful Cotswold town of Burford, just to the west of us there are major population centres like Cheltenham. To the north of our county, places like Stratford, where we would love to see vibrant communities of faith that are part of our family of churches. And so the task of planting still remains to be done.
Good morning. I'm stood at the top of White Horse Hill on the ramparts of Uffington Castle. From here I can see to my left Swindon, and as I turn round all the way to Henley over there, I can see Wantage and Abingdon and Didcot and Farringdon, Berensfield's over there, and as I turn around this way I know that Newbury is down there and Reading is down there. We're standing in the middle of this region. Once upon a time, the English countryside was not filled with fields. Everything you see from here was forest. And people built these castles like the one we see here to give themselves a base of security. But now, out of that base of security, from it over the years, the whole area has become a haven of life, of productivity, where in villages and towns and cities people lead productive lives. About 30 years ago, the founding men and women of OCC decided that God was calling them, rather than to stay in the castles that he had given them, to go out and to plant new churches, to see more blessing in more places. As I look around here and see in the distance, in my mind's eye, places like Reading and Newbury and Berensfield and the villages, my passion is that we see more of heaven on earth in those places, that we release men and women to transform villages, and that we plant churches in places where there are many, many desolate people. Just behind me are people flying in the air on hang glider type kite things. I don't know what they're called, but I'd love to be there with them. And my passion is to see those desolate people enjoy their freedom, and the church and churches growing and planted is God's way of seeing that happen.